Hi everyone, thanks for coming back for part 11. And speaking of the number 11, I just want to show this imagery right here and explain how the Twin Towers seem to look like two sets of chromosomes, and then you have the One World Freedom Tower where the two sets have been merged together. And the number 11 looks like two sticks or two sets of chromosomes. And I just wanted to clarify that when I said that I believe that the number 11, that there's more to it than just the two witnesses or the restored temple, which is going to be made up of Jews and Gentiles. I do believe it represents our individual bodies as well. And I just want to clarify that there is going to be a true merging together of DNA, a restoration with those who belong to Christ. Our DNA is going to be merged with Christ's DNA and be restored. And this is going to be a merging together that will cleave. But on the other hand, Satan is attempting to do the same thing because he always imitates God and he wants to copy whatever God does. And he wants to imitate this merger and have everyone's DNA be merged with his DNA. But the Bible tells us that this is a merger that will not cleave. And if you put in the word cleave, I can try to show you that scripture. Let me try to do it real quick. You see it in Daniel. Well, it's in Daniel 2. It says, "And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave to one another, even as iron is not mixed with clay." So this is a merging together that is not going to hold together, but the true merging together with Christ for those who have received his sacrifice on the cross for our redemption so that our DNA can be restored to the way it was meant to be, will have a merging together of DNA that will cleave. And that's something I can talk about more in another video, but for now I just want to go ahead and go over some of the terms in this table. And in this one, as I said before, we have the word seed that comes up here in the, actually it's up right here in the bluish purple. You see the word seed coming at an angle. And then you see the first part of the word chromosome, which is the word chromo, coming up here in the red, and it's intermingling with the word seed. And then the S and the E from the second part of chromosome is actually being used to form this intertwining as well, because it almost looks like a strand starting from the S and the E up here at the top, combining with the word chromosome and the word seed, and the rest of the word chromosome is over here with the M and the O. And then you see the word beast over here in the lavender. In the yellow you see the word gene, and in the blue you see the word altar, the letters A, L, T, E, R, and then you see DNA up here at the top in the green. And I'll just try to go over this table quickly. In this one I added the words Baal and gate, and you see those came up. You see the word gate over here in the burgundy, and you see the word Baal over here in the dark green. And then I tried to put in right hand and forehead, and those words came up. You see the word right here in the blue, and you see the word for here in the yellow. You see the word head here in the dark green, and you see the word hand coming over here at an angle in the light green, the letters H, A, N, D. In this one, I added the words anti, God, man, sin, and all those terms came pretty much meshed together over here at the top. You see the word man in the burgundy. You see the word God over here in the dark green. You see sin over here in the blue. And then again, hand was here in the light green, and the word rights over here in the blue. And over here you have anti in the yellow with the letters A, N, T, I. And like I said, God was up here at the top in the dark green. And so I'll go to the next one. In this one, I put in the words Adam, war, and Iran deal. And you see the word war coming over here in the light green at an angle with the letters W-A-R. You see the word deal coming straight up and down in the dark green. You see the word Adam over here in the blue with the letters A, T, O, M. And you see the word Iran over here in the yellow with the letters I-R-A-N. And it says, your children and not keep my commandments. I'll read the matrix later, but I was just trying to see what comes up behind the word Iran. And over here, I put in the word born, man, child, and rapture, but I broke up the word rapture into two parts. For some reason, the word rapture does not come up all in one word in the King James, in the ASV version of the King James. The word rapture does not come up all together as one word. But I did find another word which I want to do a table on and share that table with you, which I think is really interesting. But I'll have to do that in another video. But in this one, I put in the word rapture broken up, and you see it coming up here in the green with the letters R, A, P, and then it's connected with the second part of rapture over here in the burgundy going at an angle with the letters T, U, R, E. And over here in the light blue, you have the word born, the letters B-O-R-N. And then you have man over here at the top in the light green. And then you have child over here in the yellow, which is part of the word children in the plain text. And I think that's all the terms in that one. And then in this one, I added the words pass and over for Passover. And even though Passover is, from what I understand, it's already passed, I do believe it's significant in the fulfillment of Bible prophecy, perhaps as the beginning of a timeline or symbolically. Obviously, we know that the feasts represent the fulfillment of Christ fulfilling the scriptures on the feast days. And so you have Passover here in the dark green, and then over is here in the wine color, and it's sharing the R of, it looks like part of the word chromosome over here. And so in the next one, I tried to put in Pentecost, and it didn't take the whole word, but when you leave off the E and break it up into two parts, that came up. I'm not sure how valid that is since it's not the entire word, but that did come up. And you see the second part of Pentecost over here in the burgundy going at an angle, and then you see the letters P, E, and T in the green. And then this is interesting right here, is I tried to put in the word Nephilim, but I had to break it up, and I tried different spellings, and I realized that Nephilim is normally spelled with an I, but as I said earlier, I do believe that God also uses phonetic spellings, and there's different ways to spell Nephilim. I just want to show this as an example. Over here it says that this spelling is redirected to this, so this is a primary spelling for Nephilim in the English, but it's based on the Hebrew word Nephal, which is actually spelled Naphal, and I'll just show you that real quick. Okay, it's based on this word in the Hebrew, which is spelled Naphal. So there's different ways to spell this phonetically, and in this case I tried this spelling and it came up, and you see the first part, which is Neph, which is short for Nephilim, and you see it in the dark green with the letters Neph, and then the second part you see it over here with the letters ALIM. And I think the fact that it came right in, almost meshed in with this DNA strand, is more evidence that this may in fact be a legitimate search term that God has encoded in ELS because of the way it came up right where the DNA strand is. And in the next one I tried spelling it as you saw in the dictionary spelling, where it had this alternate spelling right here. So I tried spelling it that way, and that came up as well, and it came up pretty much in the same spot. You know, you still have the first part in the dark green, and then the second part came up in the wine color with the letters ALEM. And so you have both alternate spellings coming up almost meshed in with the DNA strand. And then the next thing I tried to put in is the words host and fell, and you see the word host came up in the dark green and the word fell came up in the wine color. I tried putting in angel or angels, and that didn't come up, but the word host did come up. And Satan does not come up in this one, but the word beast does come up. And then I also put in this one, it reads chromosome, beast, seed, altered DNA, cast out, Eden. And so this is referring to the host that fell, that was cast out of Eden. And you see the word out here in the dark green, and you see Eden over here in the wine color with the letters EDEN. Okay, and I just wanted to clarify, when I said this refers to the host that was cast out of Eden, I'm just saying that this is what I had in mind when I put the terms in. I'm not saying that that's necessarily what it's referring to. Whenever I put these terms in, I'm just trying to show you the terms that come up and how they come up, and I don't mean to add any meaning to the words that come up. I'm just explaining what it looks like to me. Like, for example, this looks like a DNA strand to me, and I'm just showing the words that come up and the arrangement. But like I said, I don't want to add anything to the scriptures that's not really there. So it's up to the viewer to decide what it all means, or, you know, through the Holy Spirit, of course, to give us discernment as to what all of this means, because like I said, I'm not trying to add any meaning to it. I'm just showing what comes up and what doesn't come up. And I'm about out of time, so I'm going to have to continue in the next video.